Hello there, and welcome to Women's Business.
My name is Dr. Mary Ann Shallcross Smith, known to most as Dr. Daycare, and this is my co-host, Amy Vogel. We'd like to welcome you to our mentoring program designed to educate our community on issues facing working women. We will be speaking to our guests in the areas art, sciences, health, education, law, medicine, politics, community service, military, and business.
The goal of the show is to provide information that comes only from personal experience and to pass this information down to our daughters, nieces, neighbors, family, and friends. Much of the content will relate to the guest speaker's journey in their profession, what they have learned most about this process, and what they wished they had known before this journey began. Since women-owned businesses are the fastest growing sector of our economy, my guests will close with what lesson they would like to pass on to the viewing audience.
Thank you for joining us on Women's Business. We are honored to welcome Natalia Lima from the Untied Way. Welcome, Natalia.
Thank you for having me,
Oh my
Mary
God,
Ann.
thank
I really
you.
appreciate it.
Really, we've only known each other maybe a year and a half, but we are totally crossing each other's paths all the
Year and a
time.
half, and it's
so cool,
yeah.
woman in business and doing business and all the other pieces that go with it.
Thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure.
Oh my gosh, thank you for saying yes to the show. So this is your title at the Untied Way. You are the Major Gifts Officer.
Major Gifts Officer. So I came
Pretty
to,
cool. Tell us what that's all
Yeah,
about.
well, I came to United Way as a former banker, and there's a path that I'll tell you about that actually led me there. But a Major Gifts Officer is a fundraising professional, someone who has their own portfolio of donors and potential donors. Cool. So I originally was just the Major Gifts Officer, and then a few years back I was asked to manage the Women's Leadership Group. It's an affinity group through United Way.
Wow. And some of the gifts that go into the United Way, like, is there a process to?
It is a
I'm
process.
sure it is.
It is.
You don't wake
That's
up and say, I'm going to
loaded-
give a gift today. I'm sure there's boards and, right? Yeah.
Yes. Pretty loaded question, but it is. It's our Community Impact Fund for United Way is our fundraising hub.
Okay.
So when a donor, it's always donor choice. A donor can opt to donate to what our general Community Impact Fund, or they can donate to agencies that they allocate of their own, or to our summer learning, to our basic supports, basic needs, Women's Leadership Council. So our United Way is very fortunate. It's all donor choice, and it's great opportunities for donors to put their money exactly where they want it to be. And we're very fortunate because we have an endowment, so donor dollars go directly to where they allocate. So we're very lucky.
United Way for many, many years, even when I was a young professional, like 16 years at my first job, they've always had such a wonderful place in the community. Just knowing that the dollars that they take in are always utilized for such a great purpose. It's totally amazing. They have a major mission, as you would say. They have a really neat mission.
And prior to being actually with United Way in banking, I always gave to United Way and always thought it was just through workplace, and there's so much more to it.
Oh yeah, no, it's
so much more.
Yeah, absolutely. Now the Women's Leadership Council, that's kind of how I got to meet you. I'd love to talk a little bit about that. That's an amazing organization, really.
It is. So Women's Leadership Council is a nationwide affinity group. It's not just solely to Rhode Island. So other United Ways throughout the U.S., some have Women's Leadership Councils. 80% of the WLCs, as we call the acronym for Women's Leadership Council, their mission is childhood literacy. Some are women's issues, women's empowerment. So we're in our 6th year. Literally about 8 women sat around a table and said, the literacy rates in Rhode Island are so poor. We're a small state. We're one United Way, as opposed to other states that have 10 and 12. Why do we not have this group? So it went before the board of United Way. It was approved, a charter was formed, and we're now 143 women strong.
Is that how many women? 143.
43 women strong.
Oh no, someone's interested in getting involved in it. How would they go about getting involved?
It would be, again, someone who would be interested. There is a personal donation component, an annual
Okay.
personal donation component
Yeah.
of 1,000 or more to either our Community Impact Fund, directly to Women's Leadership Council. And some may say, well, tell me why the personal donation component. We could never do the work we've done. We
Wow.
have funded 2 years of STEM funding. We have started an after-school pilot program that actually the orientation's this afternoon.
I saw that. Yes, that's pretty cool.
We started based on feedback from our members that they want more volunteer opportunities. We created 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, what's called Young Minds in Motion,
Okay.
a partnership with URI's 4-H program, where we literally go into libraries and areas of need with these kids, and every child leaves with brand new books, and WLC members volunteer, and it's grown and grown. We've offered it at 10 community libraries in areas of need.
Oh, wow.
So we're just trying to make an impact. We're trying to get to
Oh,
some
trying.
of these kids.
You're doing it. You're doing it. You're making the impact. You really, really are.
Thank you. We started
Yeah.
the book drive that has 5 years ago. It's become such a huge event that Way has taken it over as its own signature event.
Amazing.
So, and we just keep plugging away to do good things.
I got that box in my office. Every time I get like a gently used book, it goes right in
That's
there.
right,
I'm ready
that's
for May.
right,
I am
and
totally ready for May
That's
this
right.
year.
And
I am.
I thank you last year for your contributions, for your
God.
great book.
Absolutely. Now tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get from
Yeah.
there to here?
I took some little detours. So I originally it's so funny, and you know, we all talk about our journeys, and we talk about how it's, you know, every step of the way is so important in our journeys. And I remember I have 2 daughters. One is 19, one is 24, and I had to keep stressing to them when they were like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do. And I didn't get that from my parents, because back then choices were more limited when I was
Very
19, 20.
limited. Absolutely.
And I keep trying to instill in them, what you're doing now is probably not what you're going to do in 20 years. Try to take a step back. Enjoy the steps of this journey.
Yeah.
So I started.
Great advice.
Oh, I just, because I know the stress I felt.
Yes.
So I started as a paralegal, and my first degree was a paralegal, and I quickly found that I can't be put in a cubicle. I don't do well in
I
a
can't even
cubicle.
picture you in a cubicle.
I can't stay
This
in a
energy
cubicle.
that you have, absolutely not.
I need to be there to do operational,
Yes,
but I
yes.
can't stay there.
Stop
And
there.
within a few months, I'm like, oh my goodness, what did I do? I don't enjoy this. I don't want to do this research. I'm organized, but I need people, and I need people beyond the office staff.
Wow.
And it took a while, because you know, my parents wouldn't do well with change. They would have been very upset with me.
Now, I have a question. Why did you think at that age you wanted to be a paralegal? I wanted to be a teacher, so I totally hear what you're saying.
And I will tell you why. It's
Yeah.
funny you should say that. And again, I instill in my daughters, if there is an inkling of desire to pursue something, don't shut it out. I wanted to be a teacher all my life.
There you go, yeah.
All my life. And I can remember I'm first generation of Portuguese immigrant parents. And my sister wanted to be a medical secretary. And I'm like, and I wanted to be that teacher. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to ask my parents to put me through 4 years if they only put my sister through 2. So I guess I'll do legal secretarial,
it.
paralegal.
Got it.
It was a mistake.
It
was a
the
mistake.
family culture, the family
Family
norm.
culture.
You picked it up perfectly, didn't you? But you never
Yeah.
can lose that
No,
information
no,
that you
no.
learned.
And
isn't
I'm
it? I
trying-
mean,
exactly.
It will still come around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And part of the journey has been, it wasn't a mistake. It was a
No,
lesson learned.
It's a lesson learned.
It's a
and
lesson learned.
I don't think there's any course you could ever take, or workshop, as these 2 women previously went to workshops, that you'll ever take that you cannot use a piece of that somewhere in
Exactly,
your life. It's
exactly.
all meant, it's all interwoven. I truly, truly believe that.
So
Absolutely.
the irony of your
Yeah.
question is, I had children. I ended up in retail management, loving the people piece, and I had children. And as they were small, retail hours are not kind to a
Okay.
family. To you know, you're working weekends, you're working holidays, and it no longer made sense. When my girls were getting a little older, I was going in at night and then on weekends when they were home.
Yeah, yeah.
Long story short, my neighborhood bank the person had said to me, it's things that you just fall into. My
Yeah.
neighborhood, the member service person said to me, "Nah, you're really good with people. Did you ever think about a position in banking?" And I'm like, "No." I said, "Math is not my thing." And she's like, "That's what we have calculators for." I'm like, that's how I started my path.
I
It was
believe
Fleet
it.
Bank, went through Bank of America, sort of went up the ranks a little bit, went to Bank Rhode Island in a management position, opened up a credit union at Columbus, and long story short, as a credit union, you really have to go into the community. You have to be the face of the community,
Okay, yeah.
especially as the branch manager. And in time, I started loving the community piece a little more than the banking piece.
Yes.
And my parents were declining and started needing community resources. And I was told about this amazing call center called The Point at United Way.
Okay.
It's an
Okay.
elderly advocacy.
Really?
And
I never heard of that till today. Okay.
They helped us, and a year later, I saw an ad for United Way, and the rest is history. And I never looked back. But every position was useful
Oh, sure.
to me,
Absolutely.
professionally,
Yeah.
personally, in my development. So that's what's important to learn.
Tell me
It's-
a little bit more about The Point. Exactly what is
Yeah,
that?
The Point is an elderly advocacy call center housed within the United Way building.
Never knew that in all my. See, there's so many layers to the United Way.
That's in one
They're
corner,
amazing.
and
Yeah.
the other corners are 211. Do you know about a
Oh,
211?
yes,
A
I know about
211
211,
is State of
yes.
Rhode Island,
Yep.
emergency management system. They take an incredible amount of calls from people in need. So The Point is elderly advocacy, handicapped resources. So I called, and instead of probably going through this mound of phone calls that I would have normally needed,
Absolutely.
they basically said to me, "What are your needs?" I told them both my parents are declining. We want to keep them in their home. We need some CNA services. Where do I begin? And they gave me 4 important phone calls, and then 24 hours, they have a follow-up system where they will call you and say, "How did you make out?"
Oh my gosh, it's like a gift right now. I have some of my friends who are going through some of this with their parents, and
Yeah.
it's like, call the Department of Elderly Affairs. Like,
And
Mary
you
Ann-
won't, and it'll be so difficult.
They said,
It'll be
Mary
so
Ann, it's so
difficult.
difficult. United Way, The Point, oh my
The
God,
Point,
it's like a little miracle
United Way,
today.
yes.
I never even knew that existed.
And they will.
Thank you for sharing that.
They will call back and say, "Did you make out? Did you get through to them? What can we do to help?"
Wow.
And it's an incredible service.
Good tidbit to pass on to the people.
As well as our
Sure,
211.
yeah. Wow. So, go way back to when you were a child. Did anyone in your childhood life influence you? Someone you could think of?
My dad.
Your dad. And
My
why was
dad.
that?
My dad, and I recently lost my dad, but he was, again, a Portuguese immigrant, very strong values, very strict in upbringing.
Just 2 daughters? Just
2 daughters,
Oh,
very strict in
strict,
upbringing.
very strict. I can see it.
Very fair, wouldn't borrow a dime from anyone. What's right is right. Once you give something to someone, if you regret giving it, it's done. You've given it.
What a
Very strong.
message.
Could be difficult, but throughout the years, he is why I am who I am.
Wow. Wow.
You know, the patriarch and rock of the family, because
Absolutely.
they have such impact.
They do have impact.
Such impact.
The most significant people, I think, in our whole lives, if you look
Yeah.
back, are your mom and your dad. There's always the extended family with grandparents and aunts, etc. And neighbors too.
Yeah.
But absolutely, mom and dad. They a lot of people I interview like go back, and it's usually one of their parents. It's amazing.
And I can remember when my children were little, my mother would say, "Best time of your life." And we're tired as young mothers,
Yes.
we're exhausted, but no one tells you. People will say, "Oh, it gets easier when they're older," but no one tells you that your parents age in the process. So I found myself very quickly in that sandwich generation a few years ago, and it's reversal of roles is a tough one. It's a tough one. So it's all about a journey.
It's a journey.
It's all about a journey.
It's beautifully said. It is totally a journey. And like you said earlier, when you're on it, sometimes you just got to go for the flow. The day you walked into that bank,
Yes.
I could just see your openness because you have such an open personality.
Oh,
You're probably
thanks.
saying, banking, no, that wasn't in my realm, but tell me more, tell me more.
That's what I
Okay, let me
say.
check. I can see you saying that.
Actually, what I wanted to say is don't put me in a cubicle. I'm good.
Anybody can go. But that, once again, that journey got you to other
Yes.
perspectives.
And
where
the
you are
irony
today.
is, I always wanted to be a teacher, And the ironic piece is when I was in banking, I was asked to teach financial literacy.
Oh,
And I'm like,
God.
so it peaks its head. And
Yeah.
now I manage an affinity group that focuses on childhood literacy. So it just sort of follows me in a different path.
Wow, wow. I hope Aria's listened to that financial literacy because she runs the after-school program with Alicia. I know you and I chatted about it before, but we're in Woonsocket School Department in North Providence and North Smithfield, and we do after-school programs and summer programs, and certainly the teachers have so much to do in that
They
in 6
do.
hours. I don't know how they get it all in.
Yeah.
You know, and we don't want to give up recess. I totally get it.
Right.
But there's just so much they need to get in. So we like really supplement a lot of this learning in the before and after school programs.
Right,
But
right.
that's a piece that everyone should get involved in because that financial literacy
It's important.
will get them through their whole lives. That's something you will take forever and ever and ever. And just actually being able to know how to, well, today is going passe, but to know how
Yeah.
to sign a check. But sometimes you got to sign those birthday checks.
Sometimes you do.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes you
It
do.
looks good in a card. Happy birthday as a check.
And it's important for these kids to know
Yeah.
what's the difference between a debit and a credit card.
Yes, yeah.
Basics.
And should I use a credit card? I use a debit card. What should be the interest on my credit card? What
Sure.
is interest?
Well, when I was teaching financial literacy, middle schoolers, I sort of incorporated, made it fun, had images of checks, and on the top left I would put, Britney Spears, fun addresses, and I sort of, gave them an idea about what would happen if you are using this card and it goes in the overdraft, and like a $2 cup of coffee can end up costing you $40 with an overdraft fee, and they're like, what? So it's important. Yeah.
That's a really good example. And also some of the banks, if you don't have a account there, if you go to catch a check,
That's
it
right.
costs you $10 or $15.
That's right. They do that a lot now.
Yeah, in other words, you walk through those doors, you cash a check. So guess what? Find a bank that you feel is going to fit your needs, and then keep going to that bank and keep the $15 in your pocket.
And just grow everything there.
It's a total huge learning experience. It truly is. And I don't think you can start as young as 4 or 5 years old. My
say little
daughter,
things.
she's stepped it up with her daughter in many ways. And I I totally miss this, but whatever. If we give she comes over, the little 6-year-old, and let's say we give her $5. 50% goes to the bank and
That's right.
50% goes to
great.
pleasure. And
That's
I'm like,
great.
how did I miss that all these years? She goes, Mommy, we're never good in that financial literacy part.
Yeah.
But really, it's an important piece. And now, it's 6 years old. She just knows, and plus she was 50% grant. 50% of this is like $2.50.
That's great.
And
That's
you
great.
got to continue. You got to bring it into the household. You really do. And parents, I'm sure you see every day, what the parents do is where the children are going to be. So
Yes.
to have a company come in like yours and teach it gives them another choice.
A lot of it's personality too.
Oh, is it? I
with
didn't know
my
that.
two daughters,
Okay.
my youngest, extremely she's very good with money, and my oldest is too. But it's sometimes personality falls into how you are with money too.
Yeah.
It all
Yes.
depends. There's a comfort level.
It is a
with
comfort
money.
level. Money's money.
I know, money's money.
Now, for the young women out there listening and probably watching this show, it's also on YouTube, would you have any advice for women starting in business, to work at a business? Like, how did you make your inroads besides having such an open personality? What would you suggest to them? If they want to get a job somewhere, how would you do that?
Well, I would say, and this is from lessons learned,
Yeah.
I would say one piece is to be an advocate for yourself.
Okay.
And sometimes not settle. Like I did a lot of that myself. And in this day and age, I would say to someone, even if you think, again, if you have an interest in something, don't sell yourself short. Don't say, oh, I'll never get that. Oh, no, do it. Try it.
So
Put yourself out there and be an advocate. Don't be afraid to negotiate a salary.
Nice.
Don't be afraid to, because then that's that one question, just to negotiate a salary. If you do not, it will bother a person if they feel shortchanged in salary or in benefits or in any of that. So be your advocate. Be your own advocate. Be your own voice. And I know it's hard for someone who's very young and starting out. My own daughter asks me that, Mom, do I negotiate this? Do I do that? Be your own voice.
Yes, yes. Also, I find sometimes if you got a mom like you who you can run it by, you know what I'm saying? It gets their feet flat around the ground to say, okay,
Sure.
I can do this. Even my mom says it's okay to do, sometimes that permission piece, or I call it coaching piece, or support piece. And a lot of women don't have that. They just don't have that.
Or a mentor is important. I didn't
That's
necessarily.
my next question.
Mentor.
Yes, my very next question.
I didn't have that in my career, but I have seen and have been around people that have.
Yeah.
And what an impact that makes in them. It gives someone who has a strong mentor, it gives them sort of a solid foundation base. They have someone besides a mom who, I mean, of course, family is important to ask an opinion, but to have a mentor who kind of knows the career path that you're following or might be in it, is such a, so important.
Yeah, it's interesting you said that. The show started in 2004, and just around that time, I had a marketing director for my first business, and she ended up leaving to go to work for PBS. She actually did almost like what you do. She brought like all of the monies in to keep the fundraiser to keep it. She was really good at it. She's a former nun, so she was real. She's like, if you ask God, the money will come, you know. And so she left me, but we made a commitment at that point when she was leaving, because she was such a significant person in my business, that we would meet once a month, and she would be my mentor. And every single Tuesday, which is the last Tuesday of the month that we do the show, I meet with her every morning from 8 to 9, then come here. So we've been doing it for many years. But insight, she's got the amazing insight, you know. And sometimes you can't run things by someone you work with, because it's a little too close for comfort. So take someone out for breakfast and just have that conversation. It's they see it. They see you as who you are, but they also see it from an outsider perspective. So
I think you're right. And sometimes that mentor might know you better than you think they do.
Yes.
And they can give you that great insight.
Yeah, and keep in mind, to anyone else who's watching, you can have many mentors. I think that's
right.
important
Doesn't
to know
have to be
that
just
too.
one.
Absolutely. You know, you can get something from this mentor for businesses. You might get something from a different mentor for spirituality. You know?
Yes, absolutely.
Now, how do you balance it all? I think that's the number one question I ask all women on this show, and I'll tell you, I look for your answers. So I'm going to take notes on this, because I haven't figured it out yet. So,
and that was probably going to be part of my answer too. It is a balance. It is, I tend to be, I've got that OCD thing, and it's not always, some people say, you know, I just want like a piece of that. No, you don't. It's hard to balance. I think finding when there's so much, it's sort of prioritizing, and it's being able to prioritize. That's the hardest part. Finding out, okay, this has to be done first, or does that have to be done first? Or being able to really, really hone in what needs to be done now. Who do I not disappoint if I don't do this?
Big time, I get you.
I had a tough phase when
when
my sister and I were caregivers to my parents, and it's funny how people say when you're in it, you do it, and it gets done. Because I look back on, I have no clue how we did that, and that was a tough period of time. That was a really tough period of time. But I think again, it's also realizing that you have limits. Everyone has limits.
Yeah.
We can't get to everything, and you can't please everyone.
I also want to add, too, with the whole thing of balance. This is going to sound weird, but 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had a snow day, and I'm like,
I remember that day.
And I just think it was a blessing for me.
Because you could get things done.
I knew you were going to say that. You get it. Like, oh my God, I can wipe out this calendar for today, and I will get the things that have been hanging out there today.
Yeah.
Is that how I think?
Yes. And I actually got,
Not that
I was supposed to do my taxes last night, and the accountant goes, I'm so sorry I have to cancel. I'm like, no problem.
Oh, well, isn't that a little miracle? Thank you so much.
I'm like, I'll have to fit it in somewhere else, but okay, that's good. It's been a crazy week.
Funny, I take them as little miracles type of thing. Like you look at your calendar, and sometimes am I going to get through tomorrow?
I know.
And then the accountant just cancels.
It does happen. Things alleviate itself.
It will alleviate, yes. If you allow it to, and you believe in that, I truly, that's kind of some days how I get through my days. Like, goodness gracious, it really, really works. Yeah.
And you know, Mary Ann, I don't know if it's happening to you, but to me, I tend to be very hard on myself. And every once in a while, I have people say to me, a couple of good friends, Nat, be kinder to yourself.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
And that's what I would say to people.
Yeah.
We have to be kinder to ourselves.
Yeah.
We have to and life is very short. not to be philosophical, but it really is.
Very, very
and
short.
it's hard. It's hard to do. It's hard to do. It's hard to say it and do it, but it's important to at least keep it in our minds.
Absolutely, it's important to be kind, totally kind to yourself. And people are watching that, especially women
Yes.
who have such a in job that you do, and you have other women younger than you watching you every day, and you be surprised what an influence you're making, and you don't even know you're doing it.
Yes.
And I just need to add, I mean, lucky me, I have a team of people I can delegate to, and when I walk in their office, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. I don't think look at my face and say, this poor lady, or like, I'm getting old and maybe I need
No.
help or whatever. They're always right there
That's
for you.
great.
They're amazing, amazing. And that does help a lot too.
That is great.
Because it is a balance. And
It's a balance.
I think the most important part, as you would say, is your family. You want to make sure your family is all connected there.
And if we're doers, I'm a doer.
Yeah.
It's hard to stop a doer.
I get that.
So, especially when my daughter's like, "Don't fix my room, don't clean it, don't touch it."
Don't touch my room,
but
Mom.
it's so hard.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it's so hard. But it is. It's just finding a balance, appreciating the people that are around you,
Yep.
and trying to get tidbits of every piece of that journey you're on, and just take it all in. Because I have found, even with me, even change is hard. Change is so hard. But I look back, and most of the time, every time I feared something, I was afraid of something, in the end, it was a good thing.
Yes, I totally understand.
So I would
what
say
you're
that to
saying.
people, too.
Yes. If it seems fearful and you need to go through it, sometimes to go through it on the other side of it,
Yes.
is I think what you're saying is it turns out even better.
Yes.
You
Go
know?
through the butterfly in the stomach. Just
Go
go
through the butterfly
it.
in the
Once you
stomach.
go through that.
It's a great one.
Yeah.
Go through the butterfly in the stomach.
Go
And when you
through
feel
that.
those butterflies, you know on the other side of that is going to be really just a real
Yes.
different type of butterfly, like the cocoon to the wings,
Yes.
you know? Yeah.
Yes.
And I guess I would ask, we've got a couple minutes left, if there's anyone in business that you feel you could thank, or, that type of thing. Is it someone
that's
you work
quite a few.
closely with, or?
Oh, I work, right now, I would say with United Way, they're truly an amazing group of people.
Yeah.
And you talked about always being able to reach out if you need help within your organization. I can do that too.
Oh, that's
There is
beautiful. Wow.
amazing. I have my manager, Amanda Heinsen's wonderful. Carissa Hill, our CEO, is incredible.
Yeah. He's got such an amazing reputation.
And he's down to earth, and he's
Yes.
approachable.
He's real.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you hit the nail on the head. He is real, and he's a great support system. It's a great organization.
Yeah.
Not because I just work for them. They're a great organization.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
When you go to work and you feel you got that support and you can have those conversations, and I'm sure they realize how things just flow and so much more gets accomplished in many, many ways.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm blessed.
Got like half a minute left. Is there any closing words or anything I missed that you'd like
I
to bring
would
up?
just like to say thank you for having me here.
Gosh, thank
We don't
you.
always have the time to sort of dig deep into ourselves and
Yes.
talk about ourselves.
Yeah, yeah.
And I want to thank you for letting me do that.
Oh my
letting
God,
me
you're
talk a
very
little bit about
welcome.
myself, and being asked what I would give people for advice is such a compliment.
And
So thank you.
You're welcome. And before we end, I also want to say from Northern Rhode Island Chamber, you just got that award
And
for the
thank-
Women's Leadership Council. John Gregory, I can't sing his praises enough. When he ever told me I could get $1,000 and give it to an
Yes,
organization, I didn't even have to
yes.
think twice.
And let me
You were
acknowledge
like, that
my-
was it. That was it.
And
So-
let me acknowledge my thanks for that.
oh my God, you
It
have
was
1,000 times, really.
Great experience for,
Yeah,
for,
it
for
was
everything.
good,
For
so-
being here, for your generosity. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.